All right. We want to welcome you guys to the Micah Dobbins Show with Preeminent Radio. We're glad you guys are here tonight, and we're hoping you're enjoying our broadcast thus far. We've made it to the first hour. You survived without having the sounds and everything. But bro, I tell you, DJ Spin been coming in. He been knocking it out. Frank has had my back on the music, and we are ready. We are ready for our next segment. This next segment, guys, is called Your Health is Your Wealth, and I'm going to give you a brief intro to why we're doing Your Health is Your Wealth. For those who are out there listening right now, that statement is very true. Sometimes we harp on not having enough, maybe financially, maybe you're not where you want to be in life, maybe you feel like you're failing in certain areas or others, but you need to don't take for granted that you have use of your body. Your arms, your hands, your legs, your feet. Don't take that for granted. I got a message earlier this week of a bad car accident with a couple of young people. One lost their life, and some are in critical condition. Some have had to have back surgery. Make sure you keep those families in prayer, actually. But it's really sad because a lot of people don't realize how much you need your health until it's gone. You know, your health is your wealth. You're not going to be young forever. So if you're a young person listening today, I'm going to tell you like my mother-in-law told me. I first got married. I was the type that would go to sleep to a Coca-Cola and wake up to a Pepsi. I was a soda-holic. I would drink sodas like there was no tomorrow. I would eat all kind of junk foods and things because my mom was definitely she made us sugar babies because she loved sugar, so it affected the kids. And my father actually was diabetic because he had to have his cakes, his pies, his ice creams, and everything like that. So I just want you guys to really be aware right now of the severity when I say your health is your wealth. It is very important that you understand that your health, you need to take care of yourself. And today we're going to talk about diabetes. We're going to talk about diabetes, which is very serious. Diabetes is a horrible disease that affects the African American community at a large, alarming rates. All right. Okay. So I want to talk to you guys about it. Type 1 diabetes. We're going to talk about that. Type 1 diabetes. It's thought to be caused by an immune reaction. The body attacks itself by mistake. Risk factors for type 1 diabetes are not as clear as for pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, but known risk factors may include family history. Having a parent or brother or sister with type 1 diabetes can be one of the things you need to watch for. Age. You can get type 1 diabetes at any age, but it's more likely to develop when you're a child, teen, or young adult. In the United States, whites are more likely to develop type 1 diabetes than African Americans, Hispanics, and Latino Americans. And currently, no one knows how to prevent type 1 diabetes. So that goes for type 1. Now we're going to talk about type 2 diabetes, which is one I mentioned that my father actually has struggled with actually as well. But type 2 diabetes, it says you're at risk now. If you have pre-diabetes, puts you at risk. If you're overweight, it could put you at risk. If you're 45 or older, you're at risk for type 2 diabetes. If you've had a parent, a brother, or sister with type 2 diabetes, you can be at risk. If you're physically active less than 3 times a week, it puts you at risk. If you've ever had gestational diabetes, and for those who don't know, gestational diabetes are for women. When women are pregnant, they might put on weight, or if they're giving birth to a baby who weighed more than 9 pounds, that could put you at risk for type 2. But gestational diabetes are when women are pregnant. That's when women get that. Also, African Americans, Hispanic, Latino American, and American Indian and Alaska Native, some Pacific Islanders and Asian Americans are also at a higher risk of type 2 diabetes. If you have a non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, you may also be at risk for type 2 diabetes. Now, you can prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. You can't do that for 1, but you could do that with 2. So listen up out there. If you know anybody with diabetes, make sure they're tuning in and listening because your health is your wealth, and this is very important. Some of the things you can do: lifestyle changes such as losing weight, eating healthier, or getting regular physical activity can help you fight type 2 diabetes. And I found this to be true. I remember when I was going through a lot, and I told you guys I used to love junk food. I would have guests and friends and family over, and we would eat dinner. And after we eat, I would be like, oh man, we gotta go bake us a pie. Not only do we have to bake a pie, we gotta get some ice cream and some whipped cream on top of that thing. sugar rush. Then after the pie, you know what I mean, I was like, hey, we gotta get us some lemonade, we gotta get us a drink. You know, I'm drinking coffee 24/7 and sweet tea. And it was my mother-in-law that sat me down. She let me know, I think in my mid-20s, she said, Micah, you're not gonna be young forever. You know, you need to start drinking water. And ironically, when my wife tried to tell me the same thing, like you need to start drinking water, I was like, man, water's nasty. Who wants to drink that stuff? It don't have no taste. I need some Kool-Aid or something. But I learned to love water. I started drinking water and I saw a difference in my energy and how I felt every day. So I realized that, okay, they were right. I need to drink more water, you know, and I cut out the sodas because I did go to a doctor and the doctor said, hey, listen, you know, if you're not careful, you become diabetic, you know. And I was like, whoa, my father fought with this. I watched him shooting insulin with the needle in his stomach, and I didn't want to go through this. So I had to take my health serious. I had to realize I don't want to get on Ritalin. I don't want to get on, I'm not, you know, any of the medicines you need to get on. So I made it a point to try to make lifestyle changes and exercise and do the things that I need to do to take care of myself. And I want to encourage you today, if you're struggling right now, you can do it. I don't want you to think you're stuck in that rut. You can fight it. You can do it. It is important, even if you're doing baby steps. Rome wasn't built in a day. You may not be able to just take on everything at once, but you start little by little fighting against this disease and you can overcome it. Now, the next was pre-diabetes. Pre-diabetes is the same thing if you're overweight, if you're 45 or older. If you have a family member, brother, parent, sister with type 2 diabetes, or if you're physically active less than 3 times a week, have had gestational diabetes, or if you're African American, Hispanic, Latino, American, Indian, Alaskan, Pacific Islander, Asian American, you are at higher risk for pre-diabetes. Now, pre-diabetes is not to the point where you need insulin. I said Ritalin earlier, I meant insulin. Finally got it right. My mind, that thing was bothering me. Like my mind thinks like, I'm like, yo, I said the wrong word. Ritalin was not it. Ritalin's for the hyper. Anyway, all right, so insulin. You can prevent or reverse pre-diabetes. That means before you even have to get to the point of insulin, by simple, proven lifestyle changes, such as, you know, losing weight, eating healthier, getting physical activity. And the CDC, the National Diabetes Prevention Program, will give you a list of things you can do to actually help you to fight against it. Now, for those who may be expecting, you ladies with gestational diabetes, you're at risk of it if you've had it during a previous pregnancy, or if a baby you've had is over 9 pounds. If you become overweight during your pregnancy, you're at risk for it. And if you're older than 25 years old, have a family history of type 2, or if you have a hormone disorder, that can also, PCOS, that can actually cause diabetes gestationally for women. So we want to make sure that, you know, you're careful out there. If you see that you're picking up on that thing, you know, and you're pregnant, you might want to ease up on the sugar. I know those cravings are hard because me and my wife have had 6 kids. When I tell you they have some cravings, they might want some ice cream with jalapenos and hot peppers or something crazy like that. Or they might wake up in the middle of the night. They're like, "Oh man, I need you to go and get me some sauerkraut with some ketchup and some other stuff that don't go with that." But at any rate, if you are having those kind of cravings for sugar and you're pregnant, make sure that you're checking your sugar blood level and being careful so that you don't get gestational diabetes. And I want you guys to know that pre-diabetes is also a serious health condition. Your blood sugar levels at that point are higher than normal. And it's not high enough to diagnose you as type 2, but it's still dangerous. And they said that over approximately 88 million American adults, more than 1 in 3 already have pre-diabetes. And those with pre-diabetes, more than 84% don't know they have it. Pre-diabetes is dangerous because it puts you at an increased risk of developing type 2, heart disease, or stroke. So if you have pre-diabetes, again, visit the National Diabetes Prevention Program at the CDC website. If you go visit that, you can also get some lifestyle changes and things that'll help you to fight against it. And, you know, if you have signs and symptoms or you're wondering some of the things you can recognize, you'll look at that website. You can find everything you need to know. But just know that race and ethnicity is also a major factor. They keep highlighting that African Americans, Hispanic, Latino Americans, American Indians, Pacific Islanders, and Asian Americans are at higher risk. So guys, get the simple blood sugar test. Make sure that you know your status as it pertains to diabetes and that you regulate your sugar. Do the right thing. You know, lifestyle changes is very important to make realistic, lasting lifestyle changes. Learn how to eat healthy. I would love to have a doctor for this segment. I actually reached out to one, but if you guys know some doctors out there, go ahead and tell them to hit up the Micah Dobbins Show so that I can have them call in or come in and they can go into further detail. There's one more thing I want to share with you guys as we're talking about the diabetes story. Earlier this week, a diabetes drug was recalled because it had high levels of cancer-causing agents in it. So if you know anybody that takes Metformin, hydrochloride, you need to let them know that those tablets, the 500 milligram, that it's a widely used diabetes drug, has been recalled after manufacturers found that it contained unacceptable high levels of cancer-causing contaminant. So they did a recall and they want you to stop taking it. Call your doctor though. Don't just do something crazy. Make sure you call your doctor. But you need to make sure that you're checking. They said the recall expands an earlier recall of the same product from this summer, but it's just one of several metformin products that have been found to contain NDMA in the last year. 7 other pharmaceutical companies have issued recalls also for metformin hydrochloride. And its extended release tablets due to its carcinogenic contents. So the FDA is investigating, but if you are taking those pills, please call your doctor, ask them what to do, get the help that you need, because this is very serious. We just went over your health is your wealth. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit in that segment. And if you have any loved ones that are battling diabetes, hopefully you're gonna help them, nudge them, tell them, hey, let's go for a walk in the park. Hey, let's go bike riding. You know, we're going to visit Stone Mountain. It's the fall, so it's nice outside. It's not too hot, not too cold. Let's go ahead and get an extra mile or two in and do a walk. You know, help your loved ones and help regulate their sugar intake and what they drink and what they take right now. Because diabetes is real, and we don't want to lose anybody. All right, this is Micah Dobbins. You are listening to the Micah Dobbins Show. We're going to have a quick break, and we'll be right back with Preeminent Radio.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
I'll be back.